Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the number one up-and-coming collaborative podcast anywhere in the world. This is Clash of the Podcast with my brother from another brother, Conrad Cushman, representing everything pro wrestling. Make sure you follow him using the tag underneath, the handle underneath. My name is Sean Hubbard, representing Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. What a week in professional wrestling it has been. Definitely live and in sync, ready to lock into some real big subjects in the world of pro wrestling, man, as we always bring it to you live every Monday night, back at our normally scheduled time, which is 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Happy to see you guys in the building. Appreciate you guys. Ray's already here. Doug's already here. Quills is already here. Oh my goodness. Obviously, EPW, my boy Conrad's letting everybody know the updates. Joel is here. Guy Will Gamble is here. Vinny's here. Everybody's here, man. We're about to call out all of your comments and all of your commentary in just a few short minutes. Before I do, I got two things I got to say. Number one, happy birthday to my father. Papa Hubbs, I love you, man. The only dude in the history of this earth that I've ever said is somebody that I look up to, man. I always stand on my own 2 feet. God made me who I am, but without you, man, I don't even know what I would do without you, bro. So, Dad, I love you. Happy birthday and many more. I salute you on this day, Papa Hubbs. You are the man. Conrad, appreciate you for giving me the time to do that. And obviously, we know what I got to say now. I mean, there's just one thing left to say, and that's Conrad. Drop that thing.
Welcome, everybody. Episode 61, Clash of the Podcast, a little spooky edition for all you Halloween fans out there. You know, I'm throwing the pumpkins in there. I'm trying to have some fun with this. It's going to be an incredible show that we have lined up for you. Lots of conversation, topics, things to get into, and we even have a giveaway tonight. So if you are a fan of Impact Wrestling, you're going to want to make sure that you guys keep it locked. Fight has given us a code to give away. So if you want to watch Impact Wrestling's Turning Point November 3rd, you got to be there. You got to be on Fight. And we're going to let one person watch it for free on Clash of the Podcast. So make sure you guys stick around and show some love. We also, looks like we got a super chat in the house. What? Joel, thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. The $1 super chat. Much love, man. Thank you for that. Thank you. Let's start up at the top. Ray Thompson, first one in the house. Happy Monday, guys. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I sure did. My Mountaineers won, and I got to watch a fantastic match on Saturday night. That is the lead for tonight's show. So I did not know you were a Mountaineers fan, though, but yes, good stuff, Ray. Dougie Fresh in the house. What up, Doug? He said, it's once again Monday. Time for my favorite part, Clash of the Podcast. Conrad, Sean, and chat. We got things to talk about. Ray, as I was typing, I'll get to it eventually. Good Saturday, not a great Sunday football-wise for me. Were you getting, how does Sean's boy, LA Knight, put it? Stomped out.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Ray said didn't watch a lot of pro wrestling, but watched a lot of college football leading up to Collision. Yep. Sir Quills is in the house. I'm gonna let Sean get this one.
Yo, Quills is in the building. Quilly. What's up, Conrad, Sean, chat? Sir Quills is back again with my two favorite bros, CJ and Hubbs, to enjoy episode 61, the Clash of the Podcast. Bills got the W, Sabres got the W. I'm good. Let's get into it. I love it, man. I love it.
Yo, you explained to me how the Buffalo Sabres can't win games, but then we beat a really good team. We sweep them 4-0. How?
I don't get it either. But you know what? I'm a Giant fan, and that was the worst game in professional football history.
I'm kidding.
The worst played game in professional football history, Giants and Jets this past weekend.
For anybody who is on the Twitch side of things, I don't know if you can hear this, but it looks like Twitch is having an issue. They're trying to get it resolved. I just got a message for that. That was pretty cool of them to put that in. So thank you for that. Who is this? Look at the super chats are always appreciated, my friends. Pro Wrestling Shoot leaves one. Clash of the Podcast always deserves the love. Support this channel, supports independent shows. All love. Thank you for that. Big shout out to the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Make sure you are checking out what they do every single week. Pro Wrestling Shoot had some big streams this week talking WWE 2K24. So thank you for that. Look at this, man. You guys are going nuts in this chat. They're talking about match of the year list. We got I'm not ready for that yet. Me and Sean still got to get into some of it. We also are on TikTok right now. For those who don't know, Sean has it in the house, and I'm going to put that in right now into the chat. Hopefully, it doesn't kick me out. Sometimes they have those auto things on there. But if you are on TikTok, give Hub a follow. Hub, how many people you got following you?
Right now, about 5. Yeah, about 5,000. About 5,000. I'm trying to double that by the end of the year.
Yeah, minor details, right? Just 5,000. Nothing much. Light work to him. XG Dub was good. Thank you. Renegade L2K rooting for the Chiefs or the Finns on Sunday. Chiefs, bruise that ego. You gotta cheer for the Chiefs because the Finns are in your division. Yeah, I know, but I was kind of rooting for the Broncos a little bit to beat them. AFC I need all them egos bruised. I need the Bills to pick up some people. Looks like we're trying to do that, so I can't complain and cry too much.
Copy.
Joel giving out the happy birthday to your pops. Pops getting the birthday love. Vinny in the house. What's good, Vinny? Thank you.
Blessing.
And shout out to the guys from the Pro Wrestler Shoot. I see they're still in here leaving comments for us. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys check out Jesse and James. They'll be live tomorrow night at 8 as well, I believe.
Main event, Jay Uso, day one-ish on Threadless, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly.
Links below. You know how I do. It's there for you. Doug saying happy birthday to the Papa as well. Hope your dad had a wonderful day. He raised a great son. Gomar, what's good? McKinney, did I miss McKinney's comment? I did. I'm sorry, McKinney. I skipped over this the first time. I knew I'd seen it before. He said, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling with the live fire chat, Monday's dynamic duo Clash of the Podcast, and let everyone know your dreams don't stop until they put dirt on you. Let's go.
I like that.
Woo. I like that. Look at this. Bill signed Leonard Fournette to the practice squad. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Trying to make the team better. Oh, I can't even do this one. I'm banned. Sean said I'm banned from doing this.
M. Leezy, Fo, Sheezy. Hello. Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you to you, sir. Same to you, M. Leezy. Appreciate you.
Yes, Quill said that Clash of the Podcast intro music is therapeutic to my ears. Real question, are you guys the handout candy or just leave the bowl outside the house? Nah, we hand out the candy, bro. I know what happened to them bowls. I was a kid.
We hand out candy, man. We don't leave the bowl. First of all, it's twofold. Number one, if you leave the bowl out, you're kind of a corny person anyway. But secondly, you're going to get all your candy taken in the first 5 minutes.
Especially if it's Reese Cups. Not that I ever did that. I would leave like 2, but pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Wise businessman once taught me that. You use that how you want.
Crazy.
Let me see here. I'll forfeit my entry in the giveaway. I'm subscribed to the Impact Insiders on YouTube, so I'll be watching Turning Point on Friday. Let's go. Appreciate the honesty with that too. My Jets are killing it, keeping it warm for Aaron Rodgers.
Look, I'm gonna say this real quick. Since who brought that up? Easy. Listen, if Aaron Rodgers can come back and defy human nature and come back from a torn Achilles faster than anybody that's ever breathed air, then God bless him. I that's not humanly possible, is it? Like
Maybe.
I
I
don't
don't know.
I don't
How
know.
old is he?
38.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen. We got to get down to some brass tacks that's in here.
Some business.
First,
You gotta get down to some business.
some quiet down while I conduct my business.
Mm,
Shout out to Christian Cage.
I like
Love
it.
that. Love that line when he says that. Don't forget, guys, that me and Sean, we also put this up on audio versions. It's a great way to support for free. Great way to support right now is hitting that, where am I, like button for us. Hit the like button right now. I see that we're in double digits. Let's get that number up to double digits in the stream. I'm sure someone will let us know once we hit that. Also, leave some comments after the show, even if you're in here. Comments always help in the algorithm as well. So make sure you guys show some love for that.
I have a
5-star.
I have a special announcement coming up, but not one you don't even know about, bro.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
special announcement. Yep.
I don't like surprises. I don't like surprises.
Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
So make sure you guys check this out. When you see this, this is how we do the Clash of the Podcast. I put it up usually right after this, so make sure you guys check that out. Speaking of our friends at Fight, while we're doing a giveaway for them tonight, they had a big announcement this week. Wrestling Revolver. Ronda Rousey's just coming back to pro wrestling, it looks like, with her friend Marina Shafir. So they're going to be at Wrestling Revolver for Unreal Thursday, November 16th. You can get your tickets if you're out West Coast. revolvertickets.com. I was surprised to see this. I don't know if you were, Sean. I thought she was done. I thought it was a wrap Rizzy for wrestling.
Yeah, I think that she probably was going to go to MMA and then realize that she hasn't done that in a while and she needs to probably just cool out. I like the fact that she's staying relevant. And you know what this proves? This proves that she is passionate about pro wrestling. There's no doubt now that she has proven that she's passionate about pro wrestling, because anybody can say I'm passionate about pro wrestling when their first match is at WrestleMania, right? But she's really like digging in. Like, she's left the biggest company in the world and now she's going to be, doing other things. I like it.
BJ in the house. What's good, BJ? I knew this as soon as I seen the quote. A wise man said, forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. That's actually my costume for tomorrow. I will be Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles, nice. And the intern will be Raphael, and wifey's going to be April O'Neil. I don't know how she got to be a regular person, but that was what we all agreed upon. So that's what it's going to be tomorrow.
I love it.
If Aaron Rodgers comes up, there's a horseshoe up the Jets' butts. You never know. Mm-hmm. Jerry Lynn spitting facts on Dave. We'll see if we got time to get into that, man. Can we talk about how Punk was brittle for a freaking foot job, but Danielson, who I love, can't? You know how I feel about that. I ain't saying nothing. People are saying respect to Ronda. Tony gets some woman tag straps and sign Ronda. I don't know if Tony's going to do that. R.I.P. to Matthew Perry. Yes, I forgot all about that from a couple days ago already. Man, there's been a lot of stuff going on. We now leave the bowl outside due to the germs these kids got, but I buy the cheap candy, so it's whatever. I, too, also will decline from the giveaway. I'll be at Comic-Con, and it's an all-day thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see here. Biggest wrestling company. Ronda worked for MLW. Cut it out. Oh, yeah. That message you just showed me, Sean. This is insider baseball for you guys. That's for you to say, sir.
Okay.
That is for you to say. So like I said, stay tuned in. We will be giving away for a Turning Point. Here's what the card is looking like for it quickly. You got Will Ospreay versus Eddie Edwards. Look, okay. I'm down with that. I don't know, Sean. Sean, give me your quick reactions to some of these matchups here.
I am very excited about the best wrestler alive today. That never changes. Any card with the best human being wrestling today is a good card. But no, all seriousness though, I love Will Ospreay. You know that, best wrestler in the world. I think Purrazzo has stepped up to be honestly the second best wrestler in all of Impact Wrestling from a female standpoint. So there's no question that she's the kind of like the matriarch of that division anyway, considering the fact that Mickie James is pretty much off the scene at this point. And obviously come on, man, the Motor City Machine Guns, like, to me, like, the most underrated and most underappreciated team ever.
Spoiler alert, I don't know if Alex Shelley wrestled on this card.
Okay.
only because I heard he suffered an injury
Yeah.
to his calf, strained really badly. Josh Alexander, Eric Young teaming up against Subculture. That's going to be a banger. You got Jordan Grace going up against Danny Luna. Joe Hendry versus Simon Miller. Only Ball Brothers could do that from What Culture? So that should be a good one. Rich Swann, Frankie Kazarian, Trey Miguel, Giselle Shaw versus Alex Windsor. It's going to be a fun show. So if you guys need something to cool down with on a Friday night, man, we got you covered. So stick around and we'll be giving that bad boy away. Let's see here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did you just say someone's going to be a Ninja Turtle for Halloween? Yes, that's me, Sean. That will be me. Let's see here.
Somebody else named Sean. I love it.
Yes. Trinity #1. No ABC. I don't believe so, but maybe we'll get some backstage follow-up from it. But that was all I could find for the card as of now. So keep it locked and we'll talk about it.
And let's call a spade a spade. Also, just in a general way, Fight has really become the #1 streaming combat sports service in the world. I mean, that's no cap. So, obviously tune in to Fight on Turning Point night to watch Impact, but also just go to Fight, period. Check out their stuff because they're really like killing it right now.
Yeah, if you like indie wrestling, Impact, they got AEW, they got a bunch of stuff up there. So,
and every once in a while, which is probably more than not, they carry the big bot. Like, come on now, like they carry like the major events, major fights on that network too. So
they do. They
need to sign us, but it's all good. Did I say that?
Yeah, let them know. I'll provide some coverage. I'm always down. Feature the vids. Sean, we got to talk here. A little MJF Kenny Omega. This match happened on Collision. I'm going to let you set these up for us because Sean picked these topics this week. And depending on how he feels, I think we may be butting heads on there.
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is if you look at this match, it's obviously a marquee matchup, and I love the fact that they put it on Collision. I'm cool with that. You got to give Collision meaning again, considering the fact that CM Punk is off the scene. However, the problem is that I feel like this match was made out of desperation. I think the rating. Well, I don't think I know the ratings have been extremely low. And you're in a position now where you really have to pull a rabbit out of the hat to make people want to watch that show. You could almost say that Rampage has become an afterthought. Like, let's call a spade a spade. No shade intended, but you can almost say that that it's become an afterthought. And you don't want Collision to be the same. AEW is universally recognized as the second most recognizable professional wrestling organization in the United States and possibly the world. But to me, this match was like, we need to pull a rabbit out of our hat because we are struggling. Obviously, we know that they're struggling from an attendance standpoint. And if you look up the ratings have not been good. The ratings actually surprised me. I didn't know the ratings were that low. The ratings for AEW television, especially compared to WWE television, which I still cannot understand. Shout out to Pro Wrestling Shoot, because they always come with that knowledge, but I don't get it, but it is what it is. And I think that AEW did what they had to do on Saturday night. It was a tremendous match. It was a pay-per-view quality match. I think that both men represented themselves very well, but it's like now you're in a position where it's like, hey, listen, where do you go from here? Think about it, Conrad. You just gave away MJF versus Kenny Omega for free. And it wasn't even on your A show. And now it's like, where do you go from here? I love it, but at the same time, I hate it. It's very concerning, man.
Yes. And I'm going to clear up a few things because I'm going to battle you on part of this here.
Okay.
I'm loving everybody reminding people about everybody needs to give Impact a chance. I love that hashtag is still going and popping. Joel is bringing up Fight Plus, and yes, they do offer AEW. So if you do want to watch the weekly shows on there, you can internationally. Not in the United States currently, but if you guys wanted to check it out, all good. Papa Hubs was in the house as well, letting us know that he was talking about Sean's first Halloween costume years ago. Dad getting on here letting people know.
Wait a minute.
And I appreciate the shout out.
Wow, this is crazy. Nice.
Yeah, when you were talking, I pulled it up before.
That's what's up. Appreciate that.
Yes. Happy birthday one more time. One more time for the one more time.
Yes.
All right, Sean. I'm ready to battle you on this a little bit, though.
Let's go.
Or at least counterpoint some.
You know what? I want to say something before you get started. Don't you dare, because now I'm getting fired up. Don't you dare think because I'm all, soft tonight because I'm enjoying my father's birthday that I'm not going to unleash on you if you say some crazy crap. Let's go, brother. I'm ready.
Well, I think you're saying a little craziness here.
Let's go.
Here's what I'm saying. So Tony Khan's attendances have been low, right? Like that's going to be another subject we're going to get into later with all of the companies. Mm-hmm. But we're saying that Tony Khan's attendance have been low. Fact or fiction?
That the attendance has been low?
Yeah.
100% fact.
What can Tony do that's going to bring ratings up or help any of that? He doesn't. It's not Edge. It's not people on that roster right now. Mm-hmm. And maybe MJF's in the wrong position as the babyface. I mean, those are things I guess you could question. But what are they supposed to do at this point? How do you fill up those seats? I just feel like WWE's got the momentum and they have this clutch, this grip on it that AEW can't wrestle it away. What are they supposed to do? Let's give them a big match on Collision. Give them a reason to watch. Tell them, like, you should have got tickets to this. You are going to be sad you missed out on this matchup. And it was. I thought it was one of the best matches that they've had on Collision. It's probably one of the best matches they've had on AEW television.
The best match in Collision history. But at the end of the day, though, what are you saying? You're saying that, like, you needed to look, this is not just a typical world title match. This was MJF versus Kenny Omega, for God's sake.
But remember the stakes around the storyline. You couldn't do this at the pay-per-view because it would have been past the time. The storyline is, you're going to break my record. Let me defend my record against you. Put the title on the line, and I can take it from you.
Yeah, but at the same time,
you only had X amount of days to do that.
The problem is, though, there's a secondary problem, I should say. We all know who was going to win that match. See, this is where the predictability starts to become a problem. You see, there's multiple problems when it comes to Collision in general. Number one, that's CM Punk's show, and CM Punk no longer is employed with AEW. That's a problem. That's the reason, not to kind of pile on here to Khan, but when you put a show around one person, and then that person goes off the scene, you're kind of, that's what happens. So you got to live with that. Secondly, you had to sit up here and put on a world title match of that caliber. They went for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And you're going to tell me that that's what you have to do to get people to watch on Saturday nights? If that's what you need to get people to watch on Saturday nights, then you have a problem. Because that is a main event on a pay-per-view anywhere in the world. That reeks of desperation, Conrad. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the match. The match was but let me give you this. I watched on Saturday night because I always watch. I support AEW. I got no less, I'm not capping, bro, no less than 10 calls from people who said they watched Collision just because they heard that Omega was fighting MJF for the world title.
Yeah.
But that's a problem. That's a problem.
The views you said.
No, it worked, but it's like they're not going to have Omega versus MJF every week.
You can't do that every week, but you can once in a while. But I think they're trying to get people to stick around. I believe AEW thinks, knows, feels their wrestling is better than WWE's. Mm-hmm. And they're just saying, why won't you watch us? It's the mystery, Sean, we've been talking about since the beginning with all of this. Why won't people stick with AEW? Why aren't they watching AEW? And why are they watching WWE? Is it habit? Is it that 20-year gap of no WCW and this is all that you want to watch or see? I credit them because with MJF, there are multiple stories right now with him, whether it's the Bullet Club Gold angle, the Adam Cole Roderick Strong angle. Samoa Joe will be your friend, but I want a title shot later. Wardlow's watching him. He's feeling the pressure of being the champion. I like these storylines when they do this type of thing. I think they're in an okay position. Was this the big match to do? I mean, Kenny Omega's involved with the Don Callis family. You knew what you were getting with this. I would hope people did, like you knew what you were walking into with this. And that's what I felt. And I thought, you know what? They're trying to get those ratings up. Go ahead, be my guest. I don't know how else they can get more people to watch, because if what people believe is happening with cable is going to continue happening, people are going to slowly disappear, and that number's going to keep doing this. I don't care what anybody says. It should do this constantly, but Raw has seemed to make it different.
You're saying, bro, you're not wrong. I
don't think you're wrong either. I think this is just two viewpoints on how you could see it. Is this Goldberg Hogan in the Georgia Dome?
It's not quite on that level, but it's the same premise. I mean, and you know what? I don't know, man. Like, I'm just going to put it like this. I'm very concerned about the future of All Elite Wrestling. I'm very concerned. This, to me, with all the things that we've talked about the poor attendance, the poor ratings, when I watched that match on Saturday night, I said to myself, there were two thoughts that I had. What an amazing match. And man, AEW is in big trouble.
Shouldn't it give you hope though? Like shouldn't that have given you hope? Like when they can get on a big stage, they can show this, or you have no hope for AEW in the future? Like what gives you that hope that you're losing it?
I wouldn't go that far. I agree. I wouldn't go that I have no hope at all. But what I'm saying is that when you look at the caliber of this match, let's call a spade, Conrad. Kenny Omega is one of the top 5 professional wrestlers in the world today. MJF, in my opinion, is top 10 and climbing. You had to put him on a top 10 matchup of 2 of the top 10 wrestlers on the planet to get people to watch your weekly television show. Meanwhile, I'm going on the record, I don't get it. But meanwhile, all we have to know is that Roman Reigns is going to be walking down the aisle to talk for 5 minutes and everybody's watching. That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Though.
Neither do I.
I'm not mesmerized by that. I'm like, oh, he decided to show up in graces with his presence. Thanks.
Yeah, but
that's how I feel with it.
The ratings, the ratings skyrocket when people know he's coming. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, man. But there's something going on in WWE that I can't. And I guess we're kind of transitioning our conversation, but still kind of staying on the same pace. I don't understand what's happening right now in WWE. For some reason, the product has not gotten any better, yet from a viewership standpoint, they are turning some kind of corner, and I don't understand why or how. I don't get it. They're selling out again. I don't understand it at all. Meanwhile, AEW is putting on a heck of a show every week, and it's like they can't get people to take tickets for free. It's ridiculous.
But here's the other complaint. Like, this is the stuff I don't get. AEW doesn't tell stories. They don't have storylines. MJF and Jay White has been built since the beginning, and I just named like 7 branches off of that story. They gave you your storylines. What are you going to say? They don't have good wrestling. They gave you the wrestling.
Yes, sir.
I don't understand what people want. And I get what Sean's saying. Maybe this could have been on this pay-per-view. Worlds Collide, Long Island, New York. Tony Khan, you can send us something for free for doing this. Yes, Saturday, December 30th, Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. It's a great landmark for pro wrestling in New York. You already know how it is. People know they can get those tickets on 11/3 at 10 a.m. on AEW Tix. There's probably a pre-order before that. Get those soon too. Follow WrestleTix. You pay me for that too. Nike, you could pay me too. I'm on my bag tonight.
Let's go. Let's get this money, bro.
But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, AEW is trying their hardest, and I feel like it's just not showing up for anything. And like I said, I think it's just a momentum thing. I've always believed in this, Sean. For 83 weeks, when WCW was on top, that's the story we're telling.
Yep.
WWF was not worse than WCW for 83 weeks. I don't care what you say. I was there. I was watching. No, it take its momentum, shifting people's habits. How do you do that? You have to make splashes. You have to make noise. WWE has, I think 2024 is going to be the craziest year, Sean, for free agents in pro wrestling in a minute. And I think that at one point, WWE had all the bigger names. AEW had the indie guys when they first started. Then WWE did those mass releases. AEW skyrocketed and tried to take as many people as they could, and then they had too many people. Now we're getting to the point of let's get balanced. Let's get balanced. That's why I even said when Cody went over, I'm like, they needed that. I don't care what anybody says. WWE needed that.
Agreed.
I didn't respect it, but they needed it. I'm going to go. Let me get to the chat here. Then we're going to transition into our next topic unless Sean wants to add some more to these comments here. McKinney says that match had to happen due to the timing of the 13 days, so it just fit. I agree with you. But I do agree that it was hot-shotted. Oh, this is where you're going with Sean, though. It was hot-shotted to bust Collision.
Right.
But it worked in my opinion. Now it's got to go somewhere in the story for a rematch. And I think you could do that in the future. Is the long-term booking a problem for you, Sean?
The long-term booking is starting to become a little bit of an issue. I think they're starting to rectify that with the MJF and Jay White storyline. They're trying to rectify that, but I think it has been somewhat of an issue in AEW. You're talking about AEW, right? I think it's been somewhat of an issue, and I think that they need to kind of see what they can do to make sure that they keep people understanding where they're going progressively down the road.
Yeah, because you can't just keep doing it like that. Like, the rumor is AEW next year, when they go for their new TV deal, that Warner Brothers Discovery is going to want 12 pay-per-views, a pay-per-view every month. Does that include Ring of Honor? We don't know. I hope that AEW does like maybe 6 to 8. I'm okay with that as long as I'm paying for Max and that's what I'm getting for it.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know what they do.
I have no problem with having something to look forward to every month, but it has to be worthwhile. And it has to make sense from a price point perspective. And I don't think AEW has had correct price points since they've been started. I mean,
You think 50 is too much?
Oh, I think 50 is way too much. Don't make me have to talk about All Out again. Good God Almighty.
I think it's fair for a pay-per-view though. When they were first started, I think that was okay. It's not that UFC. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but UFC
when I see those, I'm like, nah.
UFC's better than AEW. UFC's better than WWE.
I won't say that every week.
Yeah, UFC for a show that really is like it can end in 5 seconds. That the spectacle that's put on, and I don't want to keep saying UFC. I want to say MMA because shout out to Bellator MMA that takes place on Showtime as well. Bellator and UFC and the Professional Fighting League and all these mixed martial arts companies are putting on spectacles. And you can't say that WWE or AEW does that every single time out.
I don't know.
If you disagree, talk to me. That's fine.
No, I don't know. I think AEW puts on good to great shows. I have not given anything like a C where I felt like they didn't really put in a good effort there. Maybe I gave them a C+ once. I think the lowest I've ever dipped to their scores on my grading scale is like a B-. What does that mean? It's my opinion. No, who cares? You know what I mean? This isn't some Dave Meltzer stuff.
Don't do that. You need something.
You know what I mean? But it's the fact of I don't think they put on bad shows. And WWE, I think they've been putting on some pretty good shows too for where they were before this and how we would feel when it would go off air.
We disagree. WWE has turned the corner from a viewership standpoint and attendance standpoint, but I do not understand why, because WWE is just as trash to me as it was 6 months ago. Jey Uso's floundering. Love Jey Uso. That's my dog. He's floundering. You hear me? Bloodline disarray. Cody Rhodes on his way to WrestleMania. Nobody likes it. It's a cluster, bro. It's a cluster, but yet they sell out. They've been selling out every week the last 2 months.
Let me see here. Hold on. Let me get into these comments some more here. E said hire Punk, stop double, triple dipping in cities. I think that was a problem. I think they burnt through their cities quickly by doing those double shows there. Spread them out. Let me see here. He said, "Oh, that was supposed to be boost, not bust." We know who's going to win versus Roman. FTR was putting classics on Collision. FTR did put on, I think, what is a match of the year contender as well with Jay White and Juice Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
That was fantastic tag team wrestling. Sir Quills comes in and says AEW's wrestling is better than WWE's wrestling by a landslide. Every sane wrestling fan knows this, or I would like to think so anyway.
I think you're right, Quilly.
Roman Reigns intro's at least 7 minutes, B.
It wasn't this past Friday.
Trying to figure out the why with AEW versus WWE. To me, just look at the game. It's fun, but is it 2K? But WWE versus WCW, WWE had to put on banger pay-per-view qualities to get views. WWE has the stars. But when the stars leave, why aren't they stars in AEW? Like, why is Adam Copeland not as cool as Edge to people then? That doesn't make sense. How come Jade left there and they take the exact same character and it's like, oh, it's boosted? I'm like, this was the same character. You should have been in love with that character in AEW too.
Agreed. It's tough, man.
Cody too. It's the same. He comes out with the same stuff. America, rah, rah, rah. I'm waiting for the promo where I stopped racism and all this stuff that he's going to come out and say. Like, he did cut that promo. You remember.
I do.
Cody did some of that booking to himself. That's the one thing I always tell people in AEW. That some of that was on Cody. What do you want them to do is my question. I just feel like here's WWE and no one can ever touch this. And that's it. And if you guys keep it like that, then guess what? I don't know what you want these other places to do. This is why you'll have Ring of Honor stay in their place. This is why Impact Wrestling stayed in their place, because they're afraid of getting squashed by the big bag monster who's WWE. I don't care if it's Triple H or Vince Rand. Whoa, Conrad, are you saying Dynamite should move to Mondays? I don't recommend that. I don't know how Sean feels.
No, you need to stay on your own night. Not now anyway. Not now.
Raw could end up coming to them.
Well, if Raw comes to them, then they should move.
They're open for Monday Night Dynamite.
Yeah, avoid going head to head with WWE. You're not ready for all that.
Doug says 6 for AEW, 6 for ROH. Maybe they could do that. I will never say a UFC show is better than any pro wrestling show. All the MMA stuff can stay out of my horizon forever. Derek in the house, my co-host every Wednesday for our Dynamite reviews.
My guy, Derek.
Let's see here. Pro Wrestling Shoe said, man, I've been watching. I watched wrestling every show this week from both WWE and AEW. I actually enjoyed everything.
There you go.
Look at that. Guess who won the pony? I like it. The pro wrestling world, because of WWE, have been brainwashed to think those letters are superior. Also, they like the cinematics more than the wrestling. I'm so burnt out on what should they do, and I'm just trying to watch these shows for what they are. I got away. I've enjoyed everything without the BS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm done trying to figure it out. Like, it's what it's gonna be. Remember Impact on Monday? Yeah, I remember that. It was good for 1 week. It was fun. January 4th. It was after that. It
was good. That's about it.
Yep, we were like Jeff Hardy, and then big bad WWE. Hey, Brett, how much did you say it was?
Yep.
Want a match with me? Can I win? Of course, pal. That's what it turned into. So
that's exactly what it turned into.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Sean, what do you want to get into next year? I got Crown Jewel up here. I don't know if we want to talk about that. What do you want to get? Or Roman, you tell me what you want to get into next, man.
Let's talk about for their appreciation. Not my birthday, brother. It's my father's birthday. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, my guy Derek. Let's talk about how LA Knight's not going to win on Saturday, making this match completely pointless. WWE. I don't know. Let me ask a question. I don't know if people know how I feel about WWE. I've been a little tight-lipped about how I feel about WWE. I don't think I've ever given an indication of how I feel about WWE. Right? I've never said anything negative about WWE. Never. But you know what? Today's the day. WWE makes me sick.
I hear this every week.
Me? I talk about me? No, you must have been talking to somebody else. I've never said a bad word about WWE before this very moment. I think WWE is awesome. But for WWE to sit up here and have LA Knight challenge for the Undisputed Championship when the entire world knows he's going to lose, what is this going to accomplish? Nothing. This is going to accomplish. There's only one way that this can go, and it's if LA Knight loses steam. How is this helpful?
I mean, let me play devil's advocate to this. Cody didn't lose steam. Maybe they have some type of plan for LA Knight. I know that how we feel about it, but maybe this is the temperature check for LA Knight. The Stone Cold versus Undertaker when Undertaker won the belt at WrestleMania 13. Let's see if this dude's really main event. Let's see if they're really behind this dude. I mean, I know we hear it, Sean, but you know WWE's proof is get him out there. Let's see if he's really ready for it. Let's see how he performs.
WWE just doesn't use logical thought when it comes to, I mean, even a novice who doesn't watch the show, if you told them, hey, we're building up this character and he's really over with the fans, but we have an unbeatable champion that we have to keep the belt on at least until next year's WrestleMania. What do you think we should do? Keep them as far away from each other as possible is what you do. Why the heck would they be fighting at Crown Jewel? It's ridiculous, Conrad. It's like sabotage to me, bro.
It could go sideways. I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect.
Ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
They're riding a hot wave of momentum right now, though.
Wow, they're so stupid. Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes for what? Why
would you be? You know what I thought about this last week after we brought this up because someone had told us during Raw that this match was announced. Would you be more intrigued if the briefcase was on the line?
Yes, I would.
I think that would help the match a lot.
It would help the match immensely. Yes, it would.
Yeah, I think that's something they should try to announce tonight is that the briefcase is going to be on the line and it'll add some intrigue for Cody's. Even if Cody's not going to win, it doesn't matter. It then makes Damian Priest look credible. Like, yeah, I beat the guy who main evented WrestleMania last year. He thought he was bad and he wasn't. You can do something right now.
There's only one match on this entire card that intrigues me, and it's probably the last match you would think, or maybe the second or last match. Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio.
Wow, interesting. Hold on, let's run through these other matches here. I mean, Bianca and Io. I don't see Bianca getting the championship yet. I just feel like they want Io to run with it a little bit more. And the whole Bailey thing's just going to keep getting in the way. Just my prediction on that one. Drew McIntyre's kind of been an interesting piece of Monday Night Raw, I think, with
Drew
what they're going to do with him.
I mean, the slow burn is cool. I don't have a problem with the slow burn, but that burn needs to burn out. He needs to cross over. It's time.
I think you'll start to get it here. I think you'll start to see what's going to happen. And I think this is going to be a really good match between these two.
The women's five-way is a joke.
Yeah, I'm not feeling
the women's five-way is a joke. Are you kidding me? This is pathetic. Nia Jax doesn't even deserve to have a job. Any small momentum that Raquel Rodriguez has gone out the window. Nobody thinks Shayna Baszler's ever going to win, and people barely know what Zoe Stark's name is. This is pathetic. Pathetic.
I forgot her name one time.
No, I wasn't talking about you. I'm talking about the whole wrestling world. You know what she is? She's snap famous. You ever heard the word snap famous? Mm-mm. It's like you're trying. You're like, if you saw Zoe Stark in the street, you'd be like, she's snap famous. That's what she. You're that. I remember you. That's what she is. Zoe Starks is not WWE Women's Championship material. Are you kidding me? And Nia, I'm gonna say it twice. Nia Jax doesn't deserve to have a job. She has injured more people than the New York Jets on Sunday. This is ridiculous, man. I know you're The Rock's cousin, but come on, bro. This is out of control. Wait, no, I'm not done. I'm not done. Now Raquel Rodriguez, we thought that she finally turned the corner. Now she's back to smiling and kissing babies again. Shayna Baszler is the worst personality in this match. She has no mic skills at all. She had one promo. Don't be a prisoner of the moment. She had one good promo on Ronda Rousey. You don't remember anything she said before or since.
I think Shayna did really well in NXT though, and I think that if you present Shayna like that versus, I don't know where the makeup and all this stuff came from, but I want the Shayna Baszler that we saw in NXT.
You want to our audience. This is gonna seem that I am making fun of my brother. I'm not. This is gonna come across as extreme sarcasm, but I mean this with all genuine sincerity. Conrad, you want somebody to be projected the same way they were in NXT? Really? You mean like Asuka and Bobby Roode and The Ascension and Fandango and everybody else in the history of NXT who's been brought up to the main roster? Cut it out, bro. And like I said, once again, Zoe Stark, snap famous. Oh, you do that. Yeah, snap famous.
Well, we both know Rhea's probably walking out. If this match stays the same, give me Cody for the dub. Why does Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio intrigue you?
Because Logan Paul's turned the corner for me. Logan Paul's riding for WWE and professional wrestling. I love the post-fight interview he had on the pay-per-view where he was in the boxing match. He really loves the product. He really is good. He's arguably the best celebrity professional wrestler in history. The most non-wrestling, the best non-wrestling wrestler ever. He's crossed over. To me, Logan Paul is a WWE superstar. I would have no problem him winning this match. I think it's going to be highly athletic. I think that Ray can still go. And I think that he's been super awesome, and I think he's going to continue to be. But, Cena versus Solo.
I didn't like the setup to this on SmackDown. Well, let me say this. I like Heyman and Solo's part in it, but I don't like John Cena's like, if I lose this match, will they still cheer for me? Will they still love me? And I was like, give it a break, dude. Give it a break.
And by the way, John Cena, your promo's a little too loud and over the top, bro. Like,
cheesy.
Bring it down a smidge, please. Just bring it down a smidge.
I was having a conversation with someone. They said cheesy, and I said that was the perfect way to describe.
Wow. Take it easy, bro. We can hear you.
Now that's going to be the lineup for this big show that's coming up. Let me go to the chat real quick. I saw we had some comments that was going back and forth.
I remember you from somewhere. What do you?
Pro Wrestling Shoot is talking with BJ. I don't think that it's brainwash. I think it's fact. WWE is 100% the big leagues, but it doesn't take away from all the other great promotions out there. WWE just has that major head start.
Facts.
WWE Super House Show from Saudi this weekend. I actually won't be watching. I just don't do the Saudi shows. Mm-hmm. LA Knight is going to be just another footnote on title defenses of Roman Reigns, and it's sad because it's too early for LA Knight to get this spot at this point.
Really? That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Yeah, I think the end game. You want an early prediction, Sean? I think at WrestleMania, LA Knight is going to be the person to dethrone Logan Paul. I think it's the setup here.
United States Championship. I wouldn't mind that. That wouldn't be a problem for me.
It's like, remember Austin getting the IC title? Like, remember I told you challenge for the world title. He didn't get it. Then they were like, here's the IC, and then hopefully by next year he's ready. Is what they're probably thinking.
I'm not mad at that.
Cena versus Solo feels like a SmackDown match. It is. It is.
And by the way, we've seen it before. Tag 6 mans is ridiculous.
Let's see. Wishful thinking LA Knight will win. I don't see them doing that. If they did that, I would be so confused as to what the plans were for everything. But stranger things have happened, I guess. We all know LA Knight isn't going to win the title, but it's a test to see if he's really ready to be a mega star. As long as he doesn't lose clean, they'll give us the visual finish. I'm cool with that.
I think he's going to lose clean. That's the sad part.
Nia Jax in the championship match is a joke. The disrespect. I know what you think of. Oh, that was for Zoe. Cut it out, Derek. As much as I love Bianca, the right call is for Io Sky to retain the championship. Matt's laughing at Snap Famous. Priest defending the briefcase. That sounds like a good idea.
You know what that means. Shout out to Doug.
Put Nia in the bloodline for that major heat. They should have had Trinity or someone else up in there.
Yeah.
I want to see Kairi Sane return and help Io. Then they recruit Asuka and they recreate the new Kabuki Warriors. And Zoe Starks is fired. But did anyone see the face print Raquel left on Nia? Oh, yeah, I did see that. Logan Paul, Ben Dope, put the U.S. strap on Logan Paul. I think they are. It was just so weird how that went to Ray instead of Santos, and now it's going to go to, I don't know, the moves with that, whatever. It's going to be a good match. At this point, once I get things, here's the thing. Seth Rollins, I'm done trying to figure it out. Jimmy Uso in that debacle, I'm done trying to figure it out with character, like work in the company. Fine. No one believes me when I call him Rookie of the Year. Like him or hate him, he's been awesome in every match. I'm assuming that's about Logan Paul. Cena buried Umaga. Better lay down for Solo. And I don't mean Bailey's ex-boyfriend. Oh, Lordy. Blood Money pay-per-view already? Zoe Starks is fire. Where you been?
Whoa. Who said that? Prince
Rockstar.
Zoe Starks can't talk. You can't be
Zoe Starks in the ring is all right, though.
Right, you can't be considered fire if you have. I don't care how good you are in the ring. You have to be able to work the stick. Pause. And it's like she doesn't. She's not a good promo, bro. Like, am I missing something? What has Zoe Stark said that you remember other than thank you, Trish?
No, that's why she was with Trish, because she's not a good promo,
and she's still not.
Yeah, they're working on it. This is our transition here. This is the transition for Sean's next.
I remember you. Now here's somebody that's not Snap Famous.
Roman Reigns. This is someone who calls his shots. Is what it sounds like.
Facts.
I hope this is a fake out. I really do.
It's pathetic. If this is the real deal, this is pathetic.
How can Roman Reigns not be at Survivor Series?
Terrible.
But when did they say he was going to return? The Rumble?
Royal Rumble.
You can't.
Royal Rumble.
Do that.
After being off the scene since August, coming back in October, and then gone again until January.
Let me see. Wait a minute. By that logic, I don't want to hear anyone here defend Claudio again. Which part of the logic is it, Rob? Because I actually like Claudio a lot.
Probably something about me saying that she can't do a promo.
Oh, listen. I don't think you have to be a 5-star recruit at promos. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels were the greatest promos ever. I really don't. But they were good enough. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like right. You're good. You don't have to be great. They're not Rock. Everyone's not Dusty Rhodes or CM Punk on the microphone.
But I would say if you're not going to be a great promo, you have to be an extraordinary wrestler.
I think there's a lot of tools that people are good at. Some people are great at charisma. Like I said, was Hogan the best interview? Not really. Was Hogan the best?
Whoa. Don't make me into a Hogan apologist, because I do not want to be. But Hulk Hogan was a great promo. Take it easy. I'm not a Hogan fan for reasons that have nothing to do with wrestling. So
I got promos in my back pocket if you ready to talk about them.
I am very sad. I'm very it was a time. It was a time. That's great. I am not happy. I'm going on the record. I am not.
Bischoff, I'm going to eat his. Come on, bro.
I'm not happy to have to do this. But what you're going to do for that time, come on, bro. Like, you're making me mad because you're making me have to, like, defend Hogan, which I don't want to do. Hogan for the 80s was a good promo. Yes, he was. You have to understand. Okay, look. Here we go, Conrad. Listen.
Say your line one more time with what you said about Hogan.
Hogan for the 80s was a great promo.
I'll say good promo. I won't say great.
Okay, fair enough.
I will put Dusty. I will put Piper. I might even say I'll put Flair over him on talking on the microphone.
Flair better than Hogan? What, by leaps and bounds? By leaps and bounds.
But that's what I'm saying. But here's where Flair, what Flair didn't have that he had was charisma. That was Hogan's ultimate attribute.
Right.
Bret Hart's ultimate attribute is technical wrestling. He was one of the best people to ever lace up the boots and tell a story in the ring for you. Shawn Michaels is the ultimate pageantry, the turnaround, the flex, the pyro. Oh, Vinnie Mac, I'm dancing on the table for you. Yeah, Shawn, yeah. Each person has a reason for why they were there.
That was really good, by the way.
What a maneuver! That's just how people got down with that stuff.
No, but you're putting me in a bad spot, bro. Because I'm going on record again. I am not a Hogan fan for reasons outside of wrestling. Okay, so I have to do my job as a journalist and say what I have to say.
But you're talking about Hulk Hogan in ring right now. You can say that. I have no issue with you saying, like, let's talk about in ring Hulk Hogan, little Sean, the guy who dressed up as a ninja for Halloween, whose dad took him out trick or treating. Yes. Sean was ready to drop that leg drop if he needed to on anybody. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that.
Thank you, my brother. So with that being said, God created the heaven, God created the earth, and God created a set of 24-inch pythons, or the power is right here in the palm of my hand, or what you're gonna do with Hulkamania. That was cool in 1989. That's all I'm saying. In 1989, that was cool.
I actually think that they should bring back people yelling in promos all the time. Like, do it, yell. You know, another thing I used to like in promos? Hold on, wrestling fans. I'm gonna blah, blah, blah. Look into the camera, not.
Right. I agree.
Well, Cecilia, let me tell you, tonight when I get in the ring with Alex Riley, say it to my face. You know, like, I don't want to see you looking to the side.
You're hitting the nail right on the head, Con. That's true. That's true.
There are good things you can learn from those old promos. Macho Man is the ultimate person. The Macho Man's like a pair of headphones laying around in the office. No use if you're not listening. Yeah, like, you can just come up and do that type of stuff.
That was good. You came up with that all by yourself. That was good.
Yeah, off top. Yeah, that's what hip hop. When you're a rapper, that's what it helps you do.
Nice.
But it's just what happens. Like, people are good at different things. That's all I'm saying at the end of the day. You're going to be good at three things out of 5.
I think you have to look at the times, and I think you are agreeing with me about the time making a difference. To bring it back on point, Zoe Stark, you can't remember what Zoe Stark says. You see, I remember. Let's use Mercedes Moné as an example. I remember some of the things that Sasha Banks has said. I remember some Sasha Banks promos. You don't remember any. You don't remember what Zoe Stark said last week. That's a problem.
You know why you remember what Mercedes or Sasha said, though? Her matches tell the story. Right. This is who she is. The match tells the story. Honestly, does anybody remember a lot of great Eddie Guerrero promos without maybe someone else in there who was like elevating the promo too? I remember rocking Eddie Guerrero's promo. But do you remember
Eddie's promo getting ready for No Way Out, where he talked about where he came from? Right.
It was good.
Yes.
It's good. There's a good and great are different in those categories. But if you're a good promo, that doesn't mean you can't be the world champion. That's all I'm telling people.
Right.
Your wrestling skills can get you there. Your charisma can get you there. Look at LA Knight. Is LA Knight really the best pro wrestler? No, but when you package it all together and what makes a pro wrestler, LA Knight has it. He has charisma. He can talk on the microphone. In ring, okay, it's good enough for me. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
yeah, no doubt.
Do what you're gonna do.
No doubt.
And with Mercedes, like I said, use the 4 Horsewomen is my favorite example of this, Sean. And we kind of went off on a tangent, but I kind of like this.
No, I love this.
You give me the category, and I will tell you which horsewoman is the best. If you're talking about promo, who's the best promo out of the 4 Horsewomen? Give me Becky Lynch. Mm-hmm. Who is the best in ring? Who do I prefer? Give me Mercedes Moné. Who has the best, like, get behind me, root for me, cheer for me? Bailey, I think if you present her right when she had that character the first time, it was get behind Bailey because
very lovable.
Yep. And then Charlotte, I cannot deny that Charlotte Flair has the pedigree, the pageantry when she comes out, the turn like her dad. It's easy. It all works, but each of them have weaknesses as well. For every one of them who's in the top spot, I can tell you something that they're the last one in that I would pick out of all of them. Like, nope, not you for that.
Right.
So it all just comes down to those games. And what it comes down to is pro wrestling is a political game, and you have to use what you are good to great at to make it work. Look at Hogan's NWO stuff was great. Yeah, that was because he got modernized finally over. Don't get me started again on that. He had to get with the times. Ric Flair and the Horsemen spoke English.
After all the corny stuff Hogan said, why does the backstroke stand out to you so much?
It was just so bad. Like when I went, even when I go back and watch it, I'm like, bro, why? Well, was someone not there that was like, can we redo that? Can we redo that? Take that out.
Oh my God.
Roman is snap famous too. McKinney said, where has he been? 7 title defenses in a year. I'm not okay with that. Once his run is over, no one should ever have a part-time schedule and carry a world title. You tell that to him and Brock. They want them on them screens.
Real quick, McKinney, that's probably the comment of the day, but I know you're being tongue in cheek about that, but I want to say this also. That's also kind of the problem too, because it's like Roman hasn't been seen on TV, but Roman's not snap famous. It's like if you cannot be on TV at all and still not be. By the way, are we going to make this a thing? Is don't be snap famous going to be our next catchphrase?
We're going to have to see if it continues on.
Yeah, because you know what? Let's just have fun with this for about 3 minutes. Snap famous.
Should I read these comments? Comments first?
Comments first, yeah.
Hold on, because he's dogging me here, and I want y'all to always be fair. No, even with the Punk stuff, I always read it. I'm about to get dogged in this, and I'm gonna read it to be fair. Who are you to doubt El Dandy? That is a great Bret Hart promo, even though it was like a little comedic. Easy E says CJ breaking out the bearskin rug for Sean, pal. Don't you dare start
Shawn
talking
Michaels
that mess.
Yeah.
Of course, Pat Patterson booking. I think the Jake the Snake was so dang underrated. See, I thought he was a 5-star general on the mic. Like he's someone in ring. Was Jake like he wasn't no savant. He wasn't in there like, look at the hitman, Jake Roberts, and the technical wrestling. You know what I mean? The technical wizardry of Kevin Nash was never his thing. It was his presence that you wanted to see. Nash and Hall were cool. That was the difference. Razor Ramon was cool, I should say.
Scott Hall was also a technician though.
Yeah, no, he was good in the ring though. He knew what to do. The Click wasn't playing that Cecilia. I just made that up, bro. I don't know. Daddy Magic does a lean version of the Macho Man powdered sugar promos. For a cup of coffee. Yeah. Hogan was simple. He didn't dig deep or excite you on the mic, say, I'm going to beat you up and hit the taglines, prayers, vitamins, flex, repeat. That is true.
But it worked.
I'm trying not to take a personal dig at him.
Yeah.
I don't remember a thing a diva said since Mae Young. Oh terrible. God. And that tuna, huh, E? That tuna. Bailey is best all around. I'm not asking. See, Rob, I guarantee there's people who feel different about all 4 of them, and I think the Val is an argument for them.
All right, we're gonna go. Oh, I like my boy Quills. Appreciate you, bro. All right, let's do this real quick. Let's have some. This is kind of impromptu, off the radar, right? I'm gonna give you some snap famous people. You tell me if you agree or disagree.
Okay.
Zoe Stark, snap famous. Natalia, I don't care how long she's been in the ring. Natalia, snap famous.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't agree with that for Natalia. My girl Natty is one of the best trained. That women's division would be in shambles during the bad years without Natalia. Thank goodness for Natalia.
The members of the LWO besides Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I'm struggling with the new names. When I started changing the names, Cruz del Toro and what was my boy's name? They changed it, didn't they? I don't remember, man. That's bad. DJ Zima Ion.
Yo, who's the 3rd member of Damage Control? I forget her name.
Dakota Kai. See, there you go. Don't mess with me.
Snap famous. You're that person. You're that person. I'm gonna do one
I
more.
will say the LWO one's not fair though, because I remember their old names. I don't like the new. Dude, this is like the Pete Dunne Butch thing. I just stop touching them names, bro.
This is gonna, for the people on audio, I'm pointing at Conrad because this is gonna be crazy.
You gotta ask Bischoff about that tuna. They did Bischoff dirty that night.
Yo, think about it. Before you say no, think about it. Not Montez Ford, but
Nah, bro, don't do that to my boy.
I like him, but think about it. Think about it.
Nah, my boy's gonna stand out, bro. He's got a chip on the shoulder. When they start talking that
Montez Ford is not snap famous, but say his name, Conrad. Say it.
Nah, man, we ain't talk. That's disrespectful. We moving on from this name.
Say his name.
Yo, Dawkins we ain't doing Dawkins like that.
He is snap famous. You're that guy that I think you're snap famous.
Don't be snap famous.
Yo, chat, give me names that are snap famous, y'all. Give me names that are somewhat recognizable, but you can't remember. Give me some.
See, Quills is with me. You gotta leave some of those alone, Sean. Come on, you being harsh on some of them names.
I'm being honest with y'all, man. Snap famous, man. Snap famous.
We have to get him a shirt. Speaking of snap famous,
I'm snap famous.
Speaking of those names in moments of time.
Let me finish. I'm snap famous. I'm that guy. People say to me all the time, "You're that guy that does that podcast with Conrad." I'm snap famous. They know.
I knew who Dawkins was. I didn't want to answer that. I thought it was disrespectful to the homies, man. Yeah, they got a new group with Lashley. Put them in, man.
I'm just saying, bro.
Now, Eric Escobar,
the girl from Alpha Academy.
Thea Hell. Oh, wrong name. All right, we're moving on from this game.
Let's move on.
Moving on from this game. Speaking of historic runs here, Sean wanted to talk about where does the current version of Judgment Day land for you guys, and how do you want to phrase this, Sean?
Yeah, let's do it, and let's get off the snap famous thing. Let's get serious for a minute. All jokes aside, man, like, where do you guys feel like what the legacy of Judgment Day will be? You know what I'm saying? Because I was talking about this with Conrad during the week. When we're talking about the Judgment Day 10 years from now, where will they sit in history? I think it's a really good question.
I'm interested to hear what people think about it.
What do you think? Do you think the Judgment Day will be something that we look back on and say it's a Hall of Fame caliber faction? Yo, Keith Hart, snap famous. Mia Yim, snap famous. Maxine Dupree, snap famous.
All right. That's it.
Yo, Conrad is so nice. He can't have fun with it. There's nothing wrong with being truthful, man. They're snap famous. The term snap famous is the fact that, like, you kind of know who they are, but you can't remember them like that because they're not being presented properly.
Listen, y'all make sure tonight you watch that Alpha Academy Open Challenge. That's all I'm going to tell you. Wink face for those who are watching Raw. But Sean, let me get your thoughts because no one's putting it in right now with Judgment Day. I got one from one in the chat that I've got ready for us. But put your opinions on Judgment Day. Like, where do you think they're going to wind up? What do you think of them right now? Because I think they're carrying Monday Night Raw in the sense, like, you've seen the meme, right? The Triple H meme.
They're carrying them by default. They're carrying them by default. I mean, look, Rhea Ripley's all time. If she stays healthy, she's going to be a Hall of Fame talent. I think Dominic Mysterio is excellent. I still don't think that they're utilizing Finn Balor to his highest potential. I just don't.
I think the time has passed on Finn, though, to get put in that higher. I don't believe it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's in that Nakamura realm of I don't believe you.
And then you got Damian Priest. The longer he holds on to that Money in the Bank, the less valuable it becomes. So I think Judgment Day will go down as a group that we look back on in 2033 and say, you know what? They were pretty good. They were talented. But I don't think it's going to be an all-time group. I don't.
I was just talking about this with Pro Wrestling Shoot. Like, we were talking about this earlier. You know what? That's not even the worst thing you can say about him. So I'm gonna leave that where it is. But with this group, Sean, did you have more hope for it when Edge was in it? Like, did you think Edge was going to take them? Did you think they were going to be a bigger deal than they were? Because they've exceeded my expectations personally. Like, I didn't think it was going to work at first when I first seen it.
I think that Edge leaving them was the worst thing that could have ever happened. I think them taking Edge away was ridiculous. And
if you believe what the rumor was, why Edge left, because it never happened. Okay. They were going to become more sci-fi kind of is what they said. Mm-hmm. Edge said that he didn't hear that, but that was the dirt sheet rumors at the time. I don't know, man. It just wouldn't have worked with Edge. But I didn't like that they left Edge, who was undefeated, to go hang out with Finn Balor, who's been losing. I was like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make sense. And now we're in this weird kind of like, what do we do with these guys?
Right.
And now, but it's working, but it's weird. Like, Rhea feels like the big star of the group, but Dominic is kind of the what's the word I'm looking for in this group? The lackey, like, oh, I'm with mommy, and he hides behind her for everything. They've got potential.
I mean, to me, God rest his soul, I think that Dominic is like Eddie Jr., honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is a compliment.
Yeah, I like that. Judgment Day is, as a group, I thought wouldn't last this long, but to be this over and on top, yeah, I'm kind of with Matt. Derek says it lands in the garbage for him. Derek's not feeling it.
I hear that.
Judgment Day, missed opportunities, and Rhea Ripley, he says.
I like that.
They were a faction that had a Hall of Fame leader, then they jumped him out, and now they have the hottest female as the leader, in my opinion. But they all have gold. Dom has nuclear heat. By the way, Sean, did we talk about this with them putting that in last week? The little button push?
Yeah.
Listen, I want people not to be silly about this. They are piping in booze.
Yes, they are.
Do not think WWE, ever since probably since the beginning of time, they like messing with that stuff to make you think things. WCW did it too. Everyone's done it, but I don't think it's needed for Dom. Let him show the real reaction he gets when he goes to the show.
By the way, do you know who's not Snap famous? Not even close to Snap famous? Dominic Mysterio.
No, I'm one of the few people who liked him a lot.
Dominic Mysterio is over like Rover.
Come on now, don't do my boy Grimes like that. Dexter Loomis. Backstory Battle League in the house. What's good, bro? What's good? Welcome. Edge and Taker. Finn Balor, due to my personal bias as him being my favorite wrestler, should have been one to dethrone Seth Rollins, but sadly, that would have been a good idea. You know what that means.
I agree. Finn should have won at SummerSlam.
Dominic is meat. Are we talking about from the Attitude Era meat? What are we talking about here? Royal Rumble 92, Hogan and Sid. Man, so I don't know. I think they've exceeded my expectations. I'm happy with where the group is. I'm curious to know if a lot of people believe Priest is going to get kicked out maybe for JD McDonough. I think that changes how the group's going to look, though. It doesn't look as cool then, I think.
I think JD McDonough joining actually brings the group down. No disrespect to him, but he's not needed. He's not needed. I mean, if you want to keep him as an honorary member similar to Sami Zayn, that's fine. But him joining the Judgment Day waters it down too much for me. It really becomes mid if he joins. That's how I look at it.
PMS and meat. Man, a lot of people are saying Finn should have been the world champ.
100%. He should have won at SummerSlam.
I mean, I wish that he never got injured on that initial Universal title run. Mm-hmm. I think that was just so damaging to him, and that they never trusted him again after that.
Well, it's not his fault, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, I had a wrestler on one time. This is many, many moons ago. This might have even actually before I started the channel as like an official channel. And I remember talking about that match because this is probably a little after I started it, maybe. They said that if he didn't put his arm back to brace, that wouldn't have happened. He should have just trusted Seth to throw him. Instead, he tried to brace himself, and that's what caused the injury.
Well, as you're saying, like, thinking about how it played out, and yes, he definitely tried to brace himself. He probably popped his arm out of its socket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so That was a heartbreaker, man. I really wish that he would have been given that. But I do think this is a huge opportunity for Rhea Ripley, though. Like you said, I see her as a big star. I noticed when we went over the matches for Crown Jewel, you didn't dog her.
No, I didn't, because Ripley is a tremendous talent. I think this opens the door. Emily's reading my mind. I think this opens the door. Roman Reigns not being there, 100% Judgment Day is going to be in War Games now. And you can add the extra man, add the extra man. What's his name? Come on, Conrad, give it to me. The extra man. What's his name? JD McDonough. I was trying to get you to say it. You could add him now to the match, and that'll make the foursome that will compete in the War Games.
He wasn't even on my mind for War Games, truthfully.
Well, he's going to have to join because Rhea's not going to be in the match, right? So it has to be the three members of Judgment Day plus JD McDonough. And I'm predicting it right now. It's going to be Judgment Day with JD McDonough against Jey Uso,
Cody,
Kaya, well, not Kaya, Sammy, and that's a good, I don't know now.
Sammy and Drew?
Maybe Drew.
And then I think that's where you get Drew's big turn.
I like that. Maybe that's a really good, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing. It's kind of sad, though, that, like, you have the bloodline right there, too. They could do something.
The bloodline's not, people are really hesitant to say this, bro. Maybe not you, but a lot of people, shout out to my homegirl Renzi, shout out to Crystal. People are really hesitant to say that the bloodline is not over anymore. It's not there yet, but it's like they're dwindling, bro. Like, it's not as fire as it was before. It's just not. The combination of comedic Jimmy with Solo, who still doesn't talk, and Roman and Paul Heyman seemingly separated from them all the time. It's not the same vibe anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely different. JD McFunko Pop from Easy E says is like JD McFunko Pop is like a young, like when they had to regrow Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Piper Niven. Quilly, I see you. Piper Niven, Snap Famous.
Before we get into our last segment, I did want to show some love to those at Ultra Pro Wrestling. They did announce that Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns will be free agent DLC when their game is ready. So big shout out to them. I wanted to show them some love and support some people doing wrestling things out in these streets. So make sure you guys show some love for that. And our last topic is going to come down to, I guess, talking about the attendance once again in pro wrestling.
Well, I think everything's on its ear. I think everything's on its ear. WWE selling out while AEW's barely getting people to fill one side of the arena. It's a little concerning, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, good point real quick, Matt. Matt brought up about the bloodline real quick. I forgot about this. It wasn't the same as it was a year ago now, but I wonder how it's going to be if certain people from MLW got their walk-in papers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Lance Anoa'i and his tag team partner may be making the move over. We've even heard Hammerstone wants his release as well.
Facts. And you got to remember, shout out to Renzi again on her channel, was able on her TikTok, follow me to get Renzi's information. Had Zilla Fatu as well. Zilla Fatu is a young up-and-coming star who could get signed at any time. You just never know. For WWE might be like, I'm not trying to say that Zilla's not ready. I think Zilla's a tremendous talent. But when you're desperate, you might pull a trigger that you wouldn't normally pull. So what I'm saying is WWE can call Zilla up just to like get him in because they need to, boost the bloodline. The bloodline needs some new blood, no pun intended.
Yeah. And then it wouldn't be bad. Like I said, and then maybe you put the Usos back together. You got DIY, build the tag division. You've got people there. You could do something with it. It requires love and insight for it. But Sean, we were talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact / TNA Wrestling that's coming back, AEW, these places filling up the arenas. They're having a hard time. You mentioned specifically New Japan and Impact, and the quote was, must get bigger venues to be credible. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it.
I think, matter of fact, I know what my energy is as a fan when I watch pay-per-views in small crowds. The Hammerstein Ballroom just happens to be an exception. For some reason, even though the Hammerstein Ballroom holds a limited amount of people in New York City, it just works. For some reason, the Royal Albert Hall in London, England, even though it's a small venue, it just works. But when you're New Japan and when you're Impact Wrestling, and you have these small arenas for what you're promoting to be huge events, it's not. It doesn't work. It just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same. I remember last April, WrestleMania weekend. Shout out to Fight for providing us the opportunity to cover that event. And I'm sure we'll have some more to cover next April when WrestleMania season rolls around. They had what they called a New Japan Impact Super Show or New Japan Impact Multiverse. And you looked at that pay-per-view and the card looked amazing, but then there was 500 people there. You can't be credible when you now can you fill a bigger venue? Maybe that's the problem. But you know what? At this point, if you have to give tickets away, you give tickets away. It's all about the optics. If you say, you know what, I'm going to give away tickets 3 for 1 to make sure that this 5,000, I'm not talking about Madison Square Garden. I'm not talking about something crazy. I'm talking about, 5,000 people. Your local civic center, your local secondary G League arena. You fill that place with 5,000 people, that's good optics. You have to have that. It's imperative. What do you think?
I don't know. I think any friend could have called you though for that AEW show. What was it? Grand Slam. They were giving away. What was it? 2 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
Someone could have called you, Sean, and said, "Do you want to go to that show?" Would you have went?
I would have gone for free. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. I would have gone for free, and that's not because I'm not a cheap person, but it would have taken that for me to get out of my house and drive to Queens. But I would have gone to see it for free. Sure.
Is pricing so ridiculous, or do you think people will pay the price if it's worth it to them?
I think people will pay the price if it's worth it, but I think when you're Impact, see, the issue is this: AEW is not in as bad of a financial situation as Impact and New Japan.
Well, they got that WCW 92 money. I could fight the good fight. Lower them lights.
Exactly.
Go ahead, I'm good.
Exactly. They're in a better financial spot. New Japan and especially Impact. I was very disappointed. Let me give you some real brass tacks about Impact. I was extremely disappointed with the local pay-per-view. I say local because right here in the Westchester area outside of New York City, they did the Westchester County Center. You watch that pay-per-view that they did at the Westchester County Center, it's only one tier of people. Do you know, I'm going to tell you, Conrad, did you know that the Westchester County Center can hold 3 tiers of stands? 3.
I did not know that.
3 tiers of stands. That is a 5,000, probably 5,250 person arena. 52. There weren't 5,200 people at that pay-per-view.
My question is, if Impact goes to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of somewhere. What's the next upgrade for in your area then for something like that?
Listen, if you feel, I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's Westchester County Center. Westchester County Center, which is about 20 minutes outside of New York City in White Plains, New York, holds 5,000 people. That should be your benchmark if you're somebody like somebody like Impact or somebody like New Japan trying to do a show like that. It's a problem that Impact did that pay-per-view at WCC and they only filled the lower tier of people. That is tremendous. That place
they were turning people away. I don't know if you heard that day.
I know. It's weird. I can't wrap my head around, and you know how I know this for a fact, not because I do my homework, but because I live in a city out in Westchester County, Yonkers, New York. I'm in the Yonkers, Westchester area. Mount Vernon versus New Rochelle basketball filled that place to the brim. And that's high school. High school basketball. Every year, filled to the brim. Every year. And you only fill 1/4 of the building for it. That's a problem. So to stay on task of what you're asking me, bro, optics are everything. Optics are everything. You can't expect me to take you seriously when you're only putting 500 people in an arena.
I'm not mad at it. And here's the crazy thing. I think Impact can do it because I think they're very talented.
I think so too.
They're in the same position that AEW, New Japan, and all of them are in. Hey, look at me. Look at what I can do. You know what I mean? It's the screaming child that's not getting the attention. It's Michael Jackson before he was in the Jackson 5.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me. Look what I can do. And I wish I had the picture. I have a picture on my phone of Joe Jackson from the movies, but like giving him the look like, come on now. I don't know. I don't know what else they can do. Let me just read some quick comments here. Quills agrees with you. Impact definitely needs to book bigger venues. Hammerstein Ballroom is instant credibility, and it looks good on pay-per-view when it's sold out. I don't know how much it costs to run the Hammerstein these days. I heard it was expensive back in the day a little bit.
Right.
E says if you can fill them, AEW can't fill college hoops and NHL venues, neither can TNA. CJ, tell the folks about Base Brawl. Well, I went to those TNA baseball shows here in Buffalo, and it was at we have like a AAA team that plays often. I think we're the farm team of the Mets now.
Yes.
And the TNA was horrible #1 at marketing this. One year, I didn't know it was happening until like the day before, Sean. I was like, oh, I hope I can get tickets. They were like, yeah, we got tickets. Come on in. Because nobody knew. That was why. Like, nobody knew. And these shows were bad. Like, you got to – I have faith now in the new group's marketing team. This isn't Dixie Carter's era. This isn't Dixieland anymore. This is a new group. It's not the same. It's not the same TNA that we all grew up on. It's something different. So I'm hoping that will end up changing things for it. McKinney's talking about Hammerstone. MLW told Hammerstone no, he's locked till 2025. But if he's not happy, let him go and grab something off of non-competes. Here's the problem, McKinney. That does nothing for MLW. What does that do for them? They get nothing out of the deal. Facts. If somebody wants them, they're probably saying, pay me for them.
Facts.
They're not going to go to like the fans' outcry because they're going to say, well, what am I getting for it? Fill the gaps, but I think Zilla got an NXT tryout or was scheduled to go. Matt says, yes, Hammerstone is no longer on the MLW roster page. Uh-oh.
Wow.
If Dragon Lee's not careful, he'll become stat famous. I think they're trying to make Dragon Lee the next Rey Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the boogie down. Melrose Ballroom is out of the way by public transportation for me.
Okay.
McKinney says TNA has to go bigger. If you can't sell it out, you're not in the studio, so people get to regret not going. If you put on a great show, now people want you to come back. He said, Sammy at Blood Money. We not yet. No match confirmed yet for Sammy. High school graduations have more people in attendance than Impact Wrestling Rockstar says. Dixie, Hogan, Bischoff, and Harvey, bigger heel group than Evolution. Terrible. Well, I'll say this for New Japan. I think when Sean says New Japan 2 in this, it's New Japan Strong who runs on the state side of things because New Japan fills up the Tokyo Dome. Right. New Japan fills up Corrigan Hall.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. I'm talking about in the United States, yes.
Yeah, but when they do these joint shows together, you're like, yo, there's only 500 people here. Let's rock this out. Do you think Impact's investment is going to be bigger in the shows? It sounds like they're going to invest in a new stage, new studio, like new equipment. It sounds like a lot of stuff's getting upgraded, Sean, not just the name TNA Wrestling. Right. I think they're going to try and book some bigger venues. I would, at least for the pay-per-view, start off with it.
I don't know if I think they're really going to push their chips to the middle of the table, and I think they have to. I think there comes a point in time when you have to figure out whether or not you want to go for it or not. I was doing a little research while you were talking. The attendance for Victory Road at Westchester County Center this past September is not listed, which, by the way, I think is a little bit of a red flag, by the way. But the capacity, it is official, the capacity for Westchester County Center is 5,000 people. There was not 5,000 people in Westchester County Center on September 8th.
And remember, it's a sellout what you have it set up for. So if they only have it set up for 100 people, let's just say I'm using an easy number, 100 people go, it's sold out.
Right. Exactly.
It's a sellout here in Westchester. Yeah, they can say that then. But
that's just pretty much the bottom line for me. It's not, if anybody, by the way, by next week or everybody following us on Twitter, that's a little bit of homework I'd like you guys to do. I'm going to do it myself. Hopefully I find it. Find out, if you can, the attendance for Victory Road that took place in White Plains, New York on September 8th. I could not find it, but
I was told from someone in attendance that it was sold out, Sean, and they had to turn people away at the door, and they probably regretted not having another level or something to get some more people in there.
Words cannot express, Conrad, how infuriating. Thank you for that information, by the way. Infuriating that sounds to me. I did not know that. You're just breaking that information to me now. In what world would you stop accepting people after one tier? Like, why was that building not configured to fit the 5,000? And by the way, just to let you know,
I think it's based on old Impact numbers, though. The old numbers Impact wasn't filling up.
Well, that's the bottom line. The bottom line is they have a problem. That just ties into what we're talking about. They have a major problem. If you can't put, they didn't have 2,500 people in that building, Conrad.
Let me say this, though. Remember where they came from. When Dixie left, the money left. So now you don't have anybody that you can sign. Now you're running bars.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, Conrad. I'm gonna tell you something and this is coming from personal conversations. I know your family, you know my family. You and I'll tell you off the air how much, because people don't need to be in our business like that. You and I could rent out the Westchester County Center.
Really?
So don't, the whole like Dixie left with the money. That's true. You and me today could rent out the Westchester County Center and do an episode of Clash of the Podcast Center Court today. So it has nothing to do with money. Nothing.
But it does, though, for their roster.
I just told you, me and you can go there and rent it out right now.
You're talking about location money.
Okay.
I'm not talking about location money. I'm talking about people. We're talking about who do they need to get. And I've heard people tell me, I will watch TNA again. And this is shocking people. Probably Derek, too, in the chat. I will watch CM Punk and Will Ospreay. I will watch TNA wrestling again if they can get both or one of them. Mm-hmm. That makes it interesting. Mm-hmm. Do they have the funds to do this? That's up to Anthem. Anthem has millions of dollars. They need to give it up, though. Yeah. Are you willing to invest to get those ratings that you want? That's what it takes. If not, you can keep running the bars all you want. You'll be fine, I guess, if that's working for you, if that's what does it for you. But if you want to take that chance to try to make some more money, you're going to have to.
Right.
That's where I think it stands. And for AEW, New Japan, and all them, McKinney just brought it up here. AEW was here not too long ago, and the attendance was poor. They put on 2 shows. WWE will be here in November, and I guarantee you a sellout because it always is. I'm going, so I'll report the stats. I'm just interested into why. Like, that's so weird to me.
I think what McKinney said is 100% accurate. I just don't understand why.
Me either. Like, but maybe it's loyalty to the brand. Like, think about it when you were a kid. I was a WWE guy. If you told me pick WCW or that show, I'm picking WWE when I was a kid.
Right.
But this is different times now, I guess. Strong is the American expansion. It's like the Jags or the Texans. Copy that. And I like Strong. I just watched the New Japan show over the weekend with Kingston versus Hinare. I thought it was a fine show. I even watched NWA. I don't know what that one segment was with the powder. I'll let y'all find that on Twitter. I was like, what?
I have an insider friend that works for Fight TV. I won't mention his name. You know him. He gave me a disclaimer about that New Japan show. He said to me, Sean, Clash of the Podcast, whatever, we'll talk about it, whatever, but here you go. But his disclaimer was, don't be disappointed. The venue is trash. What does that tell you?
Do you think that there needs to be some team up maybe with some of these companies?
Sure.
That's the other thing.
Sure, but that's the reason. I'm gonna let you finish your point. That's the reason why I was so disappointed. What did you call it? It was the Impact New Japan what?
Multiverse.
That was a combined show, and they put in a smaller. That was insane. Why? Like,
but go back a couple. Can we rewind to a couple years ago? How come New Japan and Ring of Honor were in Madison Square Garden?
I was there for that amazing show, and it sold out.
What was the difference?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Sinister Minister parties are you? Yes, he does. If New Japan would do Wrestle Kingdom type show,
this show tonight went off on a couple of tangents, but I'm really excited about what we talked about tonight because I'm telling you something, man.
This was good discussion. This was like steak. Like this was like, oh man, we're getting deep into this. This is a good kind of.
I want Impact, New Japan, AEW, and WWE all to do well. I want MLW to do well. I want, what's it, Glow Wrestling? Is that what it's called? Glow?
Wow
Wrestling. I want Wow Wrestling. I want all the better organizations are, the better we as fans have it. It's just people need to understand optics mean something. When you tune in, when you buy a pay-per-view on Fight, if you buy a pay-per-view on your traditional pay-per-view networks and you see an arena that's real small or maybe really darkly, NWA is a good product, but you don't take it seriously because they're putting 250 people on a soundstage. That's what WCW used to do. WCW Saturday Night used to do on their free weekly television. There'd be 500 people on a soundstage at the Mickey Mouse Arena, at, Universal Studios.
But you didn't think that as a kid. Now, right. I think WWE has ruined the illusion of you could do studio pro wrestling. It's made it harder. True. NWA, I thought, did a good job until the pandemic crisis hit them, and then they lost all their talent that they had under contract. Ricky Starks, LA Knight, these guys are all gone. Poof, they can be taken. Yeah. Look at MLW. Like I said, they don't want to give up anything.
Yeah.
And I'm putting it in the chat right now, guys. We're going to pick someone, but put hashtag Turning Point in the chat if you would like an opportunity at watching it on Fight for Free tonight. And we will pick a winner at random. I'll let Sean pick a winner. But Sean, tell the people what we got coming up as a duo. We got a lot of things happening here.
Yeah, we have a big time giveaway. Clash of the Podcast not only is doing this amazing giveaway with Fight right now, but on November 16th, I want you guys to meet us over on the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel at 8 p.m. as Clash of the Podcast presents Hubbard Wrestling Weekly and the Survivor Series special that we're going to be putting on with Renzi, Crystal, and of course my tag team partner Conrad. And as an added bonus, you have a couple of instructions you need to follow, so I want you guys to pay close attention. But if you do, you will be eligible for what I think is a really super dope pre-Thanksgiving prize, which is if you make sure that you're subscribed to the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel on YouTube, if you make sure that you're subscribed to the EPW channel on YouTube, and if you make sure that you're subscribed and following both Hubbard Wrestling Weekly and EPW on TikTok as well, you meet us over on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly on November 16th for the Survivor Series special, you will be eligible to win a $25 Amazon gift card. So, again, the rules are as follows. Thank you, Conrad. You must follow EPW and Hubbard Wrestling Weekly on YouTube and TikTok, and then tune in on November 16th to the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel at 8 p.m. And if you do so, you will be eligible to win a $25 Amazon gift card courtesy of Clash of the Podcast. So it's a beautiful thing.
Fire. I was just doing my homework on one of those Survivor Series.
Yeah, I'm fired up about that show. Yep.
Had to go back and rewatch the first one. Woo! Memories.
Classic stuff. And to answer your question, I really think that we have a cool winner tonight. I'm really excited about the winner. and I think he deserves it. I'm sorry to reveal it's a he. That kind of gives a little bit away. It's not one of our wonderful female listeners tonight, but I think we're going to go this route.
Let me verify. I know some people said that they did not want to take it. I'm just verifying real quick. Here, I'm going back up to the top. Dude, there were so many comments in here tonight. Let me see. Sorry, I'm still on the Hogan promos. That's how many things we had in here. Brother. We're live, pal. I'm sorry, I'm looking because some people said that they couldn't take it because of different things. And where is it? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Colt Cabana.
Oh, please, not with it. I can't. I don't want to start going on them rants again. We've been good for a couple weeks on this side. I don't see it. We can put it out there and let's see. He put up the piece. I was gonna say, because he was the only one who followed the instruction I had put in the chat.
Okay, that works for me. We're on the same page. No problem. That works.
Doug, you're the winner. If you said you couldn't do it or watch it, because I couldn't find the people who said they couldn't. If you don't want it, you don't need it. We'll find someone who can use that code. But Doug, you're the winner. Get in contact with me. I'm gonna tell you how you can do all that. Set it up for yourself. Sean, I'm gonna let you carry us on out of here, brother.
So once again, make sure you go over to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, subscribe to EPW if you haven't already, subscribe to both of our TikToks, and meet us over on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly on November 16th at 8 p.m. for the Survivor Series special for your opportunity to win a $25 gift card. Shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight. We'll be back 6:05 Eastern Standard Time right here on the EPW channel as we continue to celebrate pro wrestling right here on Clash of the Podcast. Listen, man, really appreciate you guys and appreciate everything you guys bring to the table. Conrad and I could not do this without you guys. Make sure you go to the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly threadless shop to get your merch. Make sure you go to the Everything Pro Wrestling shop on on TeePublic to get your merch. Show love. We appreciate you guys, and always remember, evil never prevails. Shout out to my dad once again. Dad, I love you. Happy birthday. Conrad, you're the best, man. Appreciate you, brother. And with that being said, this is Clash of the Podcast, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, EPW. We're out. Talk to you next week.